Hey guys, Nice Galore here and welcome to a new video. As you can probably hear, it's raining, it's a nasty day, so came out, thought I'd make a knife of course. So this is kind of a second parter to another video of mine, which is proving that you can make them a knife with basic tools and reasonably advanced tools. I of course don't have really advanced tools, I just have more reasonable ones that someone more interested in making knives would probably have. So this is sort of the design I went for last time. It's a bit different to that. It's a lot more curvy and fluid and all of that. It's nice. And I didn't want to make the exact same thing because that's extremely dull. So I went for a more, I'm not even sure what to call it, almost a military style blade. Yeah, this is going to be more of a utility knife than anything. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to making it. And yes, it's going to be dead interesting to make. So, right, what else was I going to do? Right, I've also got to show you something first. You probably haven't seen this in a video before. This is my new belt grinder. It's a nice belt grinder. I've put a few hours into it already, as you can probably see, but that does just wipe out. It's this is a 60 grit aluminium oxide belt, and it also comes with a little medium abrasive grinding wheel, which is quite handy. It runs nicely, you know, you can turn it on. And it also came with this handy tool as well, which is for squaring up your grinding blades. So you put them flush and they'll grind, those will spin, and they'll make your grinding wheel square, which is because these are really hard. So I actually can't attach it. I got it on and then I could never get it off, so I'm just gonna leave it off at this point. Yep, and that's all I have to show you tool-wise that's new, apart from I've got this new bench vise that you saw in the last video. So yeah, let's crack on. Before we move on to the belt grinder and start removing material, I'm just going to talk about the safety implications. I've had iron poisoning before. It is not pleasant, so in light of that I was given this. This is a respirator. It'll just stop all the iron going into my lungs and making me sick for an extremely long time. Also recommend some ear defenders. They're really useful as well because, you know, you need your hearing if you're young like me and need to hear stuff. Goggles, also a thing. I've just got some grinding goggles that I was given for Christmas. These are really good. I've put a few hours into them and they haven't messed it up yet, so all good. That's pretty much all you need. You also need a good pair of tight fitting goggles. I've got the Sight Cutmaster 5. Try not to cheap out on your gloves too much because they are fairly handy and, well, you need them. They do protect your fingers, and you do need your fingers, funnily enough. So there you go, fingers. And the other thing I need to talk about is how I'm going to use it on the belt grinder. I'm going to be holding it like this a lot of the time, just to really flush against this plate, just to remove all the material. Once I start beveling, I'll probably hold it up like this, like that, just because it's easier to get the bevel on rather than down here. Whereas you can only bevel flat things that are exactly square to this. So that's just a little tip. And yep, we're pretty much ready to start grinding now. So let's do it. Right, so as you can see from that, it's taken off a fair bit of material in a short bit of time. I'm not going to show you all of this on camera, of course, because boring. I'm just going to get through as much as possible off camera, but I can already tell you it's significantly faster than filing, which is all I'm really going for here. Otherwise there's no real point in using it, so yeah, I better start doing some other stuff now then. But at the end of the day, even pros have to resort to a simple file for those hard to reach places, so I recommend you keep your sleeves rolled up as well, just because they get in the way. Right guys, that's the knife basically shaped using a combination of my belt sander, which I've just taken the side off so I could really get in there with one of the sides. That's just a preference thing. And just a small amount of filing, you know, around these areas and things, just so I can really get in there and make it a comfortable knife to hold. In my opinion, the handle was just the perfect length. It's just that comfortable. I might take it down a little more here towards the pommel, but I don't know what you call that end of the knife. I just know a bit about swords from, you know, too much childhood gameplay. Yeah, so now that we've done that, we can begin to bevel. Right, now a mistake I made on the last knife, which I really should have sorted out, is the fact that you need to have such a smooth surface. It needs to be smooth. There's no file marks, that you just can't. Otherwise, when you taper the blade into the point, you'll end up with ridges like that, and it just looks shocking. I have fixed it now after a little bit of hard work and a little bit of faffing around with some more edge work. I have fixed it, but I'm just gonna premeditatively fix it, and as you can see, I've made it really smooth on my belt grinder just by going round and then to the side, just to really make it smooth. And other than that, I've just basically shaped it, and I've cut out a little notch there that's almost going to act like my the thing I always forget the word of, the little notch, so that it means it's easier to sharp. It's going to act as that, except I'm having a notch instead of a little hole, or half hole. Yeah, so I'm just going to have, yeah, a nice knife at the end of this. This will probably end up being a customer's knife, because I've got a customer at the moment who's you know, wants a kind of survival knife type, so I've designed it around that really. So this is probably going to be a customer's knife. My throwing knife is also a customer's knife, so yeah, I'm making just customer's knives at the moment, so yeah, I better start beveling. Right guys, my footage decided it was going to be corrupted and wouldn't actually let me play the beveling. Spent all this time, you know, beveling, getting nice camera angles and things, doing a few other bits and bobs, but no, my camera said. So this is all I've done so far. I've done a little bit of shaping there just to make it a little bit more comfortable to hold, because I took my glove off and it was a little bit, you know, harsh in some areas, so I've changed that a bit. I beveled, as you can see, it is a chisel grind, but it's such a fat chisel grind it shouldn't break in a survival kind of situation type thing, because chisel grinds are only really for Japanese kitchen knives, and well, that's the only place I've seen it. Well, that DB Blades hasn't done. He does a lot of chisel grinds and things, and I kind of do a little bit of what he's doing and things, except I don't copy him directly because I understand he wouldn't like that. So I've done a chisel grind pretty much, except I did do a little bit of beveling work just so you could see a plunge line on one side, because the plunge lines do look really good. If you don't have a plunge line, it looks a bit weird, and that's just odd, and you don't really want that. So it's beveled, I've taken a bit more off the back like I said I would, and I've made some thumb grips so that you can put your thumb there and do all your work and things. So that's what I've done for beveling, and now I'm going to move on and use my new forge that's sitting over there to harden the blades, which is, oh, it's going to be fun. I haven't actually done any hardening using that particular forge. I've only ever used, you know, kind of a hearth fire or a blowtorch, so we're moving up into proper stuff now. So yep, I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and it's all polished and everything, all the scratch marks are out, as you can probably see. It's a good looking blade. I've also drilled some holes so that you can paracord wrap this like I'm going to. I did a little bit of research into decent paracord wraps that do actually look alright, so we're going to make a nice looking knife, I think, at the end of this. Right, I'm just going to be lighting my forge. Going to start off reasonably small so I don't create that much smoke. You know, this is just better than chucking a whole load in, which is probably not particularly good because it creates a lot of smoke and things. So got my fire lighter in there, if I can get it. I'm pretty sure it's going. Just activated my hairdryer, getting a lot of oxygen to it so it burns faster. Still a bit magnetic there, but just keep faffing with it and eventually just dabbing it with a magnet, because about 820 degrees Celsius it will lose its magnetism. Right, that's ready. Right. Then, when I'm ready, now I've used canola oil to harden it, and now the knife should be hard, so let's have a look. Well then guys, this is what the knife looks like now. You know, pre-polishing and all of that. I'm just deciding whether I should remove all of the, what I like to call heat patterning, which is done by the forge or whatever you use. Basically it's molten steel that then slides almost, so you end up with this nice spotty pattern. Same kind of thing that happened with my bike tool knife. Like that knife quite a lot as well. So now that I've done that, I'm just gonna polish, but it's to the degree I polish is what makes the knife really. So yeah, I'm just gonna go and see how it looks as I go, and then if it looks terrible once I've got rid of all the black, we will continue polishing all the way up to 400 grit, I think. So let's go ahead and do that. That was not meant to happen. Bit tighter. Right. That's got most of the soot and things off. So, now that I've done that, let's give it a wipe. Now, we have to decide whether I leave it like that or go to mirror polish. Personally, I'm going to leave it like that, because that I think looks fantastic. It looks almost like Damascus steel. So I'm going to leave it like that. I am going to take it up and remove most of the black here though, because I think the black makes it look a little bit cheap almost. So yeah, most of the black's going to go on both sides. Then we can focus on the handle. Then we can finish the blade. Finishing the blade. Incredible. Don't really do that often. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead, do most of the polishing on camera. I'll show you the last few stages and then the result. And I think this is going to look fantastic. Right, that's the 180 grit done. I think it looks quite cool. I've left it so there's the faintest amount of it. But there is still some, as you can see. It glints in the light. And it will go with the sheath material that I've got to go with it. I think it will look really cool once it's all done, I promise. So other than that, all I've done is just clean the whole blade up. Now I'm going to move on to some, where is it? 280 grit this is, opposed to my 180. So this is slightly finer. This will just begin the polish. Then I'll move up to 400. And all that'll do, bring out all the bits that are polished and leave a really nice contrast between everything else. That's what I'm going for anyway. So going to go ahead and do that off camera and just show you the last bit of me doing stuff to it. Right then, this is what it looks like. Now I know it doesn't look particularly different, but in real life, it looks better. So now that we've done that, everything's clean, everything's good, everything's grand, we can move on to handling it. The handle I'm going to do for this one is a paracord wrap. Sorry about all you guys who like wood handles, but I spent a very long time practicing it and I really want to use it, so it is called the Strider's wrap, I'm pretty sure, off memory. So we're going to go ahead and attempt that. Just going to wrap this in masking tape so I protect the beautiful finish I've made. Then after that we can go into sheath making and then generally finishing it. I'm actually going to do most of this off camera. I will show you how to do the Strider wrap, but I am going to do most of it off camera now because I've spent so long filming. I'm just going to go ahead and get it done. It takes up a lot of my time, this filming, so because I have to explain it all and things. So I'm just going to go ahead, do most of it. It's the same basic premise that I've already showed in my videos. Sheath making, pretty much the same as my axe. And yeah, the handling's just really easy to do. It's just a paracord wrap, and as soon as I show you how to do it, I'm just going to be doing that 500 times. So no point me, wasting 5 minutes showing you how to do it. So I'm just going to go straight ahead, show you how to do it, and then we'll just finish it there. Okay, so you can see, got my underlayer done. Underlayer, no, I'm not doing that. So I've already done one of the Strider wrap type configuration. Basically, all you're going to do, make a little loop there. You're going to put it there. You're going to go around all the way to the other side, if I can. Then thread it through that loop. All the way through, if you can. Then you tighten it and then pull it back up. I'm going because I started it going down. And as you can see, I don't know how well you can see, but how's that? Nah, it doesn't help, does it? Anyway, there's that type knot. You'll see it a lot better when I show it in the final reel at the end. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this now. It'll look really nice in the end. Do the sheath as well, and then we'll cut the video there and we'll show some examples of me using the knife and things, and that'll be it for this video. Right, guys, I've finished it. This is what it looks like now. Pretty much the same, the knife, but I've made a sheath now. I thought it was really cool. It's just made of some crocodile skin pleather as the finisher material with some thicker, just don't really know what that is, just plain cowskin style leather. I just used it because it's slightly thicker, so I've reinforced it. As you can see, there's, well, I don't know if you can see it particularly well, but there's 4 layers there that I've sewed together, and then I've sewed them up at the top here so that you're not confused as to which one you put in between. There's just, one. Made a little belt strap just out of some of that plain cow leather, so it'll just sit on your hip like that. It works really well, actually. I've been chopping away happily at various things. I hope you work now. No, you won't. Too small piece of paper. So as you can see, it really is quite sharp, this. I mean, sharpest chisel grind I've ever done, so that's pretty good. But the sheath is what I did really like. It's my favourite bit about this. I've never really made a knife sheath particularly well before out of this kind of material, and as you can see, the patterns kind of mirror each other slightly. There you go, get the right lighting for the crocodile skin. I quite like that they mirror each other, and all in all, really nice blade to make. Really enjoyed it. I hope the customer likes it. And yeah, if you like this video, then please leave a like, watch a few of my other videos, even consider subscribing. And yeah, this took a lot of time to make, and well, I hope you like it because I really enjoy doing it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Right, so as you can see, I've just quenched it. Now I'm preparing it for tempering. I've just dipped it in my... Because it was in canola oil, I want to get rid of all of that because that will ignite if I put it in the flame. So take a tissue, rub it all over. I'm going to take my grips that I'm using, going to grab it in that, and then I'm just going to waft it over the flame. So flip the air back on.